It may still be early in pre-season, but certain players for Manchester United are impressing already. No one more so than Toby Collyer, in my opinion. He has really stood out as one of the top performers so far. So the question is, what has he been doing so well? So the first thing that I want to look at with Collyer in terms of where he has been impressing so far on the tour, it would have to be his physical work and his out of possession work, because I think this really gives him a good base and a foundation to potentially break into the Manchester United first team this season. It starts with clips like this, being willing to do defensive work for his side. We can see United here have got plenty of players behind the ball, but Collyer is the one looking to be proactive, looking to engage, read the play and then step in, be assertive, be aggressive and win the ball. And what I've really enjoyed so far is the usage of his body. We can see it here, getting himself between the ball and the opposition, and he's quite a big guy when he's in these situations. You know, he's not massive, he's not 6'4", 6'5", but he uses his body incredibly well. He's really good at positioning himself between this sort of situation. And that's good for a young player to have that. A lot of young players don't really understand how to use their body. Collyer doesn't seem to have that problem. He seems to have mastered it at quite an early age. And he uses that strength combined with athleticism to really provide cover and support for his defence. Here we can see the fullback has been a little bit caught out with his positioning, but Collyer is going to make up for that. Track back into his own penalty area, once again get his body between ball and opposition to win the ball back for his side, again using that impressive strength. This is something that he has continued to do over the two games, using his body, using his frame, using his physical capabilities really to his advantage. So here, initially, he is the wrong side of the ball, but he tracks back well, shows that determination, the intensity to cover the ground and stick with the player, and then actually, in my opinion, make a really good sliding tackle. Now, the referee actually gave this as a free kick, but in my opinion, this was a really good tackle, and it showed two things. First of all, the determination to get back and win the ball, but then actually, the tackling ability is quite clearly there, using those long legs to reach out in front of his opponent and nick the ball back. This is all really good from Collyer. And then the other thing was his ability to cover wide a little bit higher up the pitch, cover reasonably large spaces. So here we can see Wan-Bissaka caught a little bit higher, so Collyer is going to shift across, and he's really helping out his defenders here. He is sensing the danger, reading where the ball is going to go, and get across to cover. Now on this occasion, the tackle isn't quite as strong, so the ball bounces out, loose. But Collyer then has the recovery pace, and realistically in this situation, there was only one winner. He actually got to the ball incredibly easily, and kept the ball for Manchester United. So this, in my opinion, is what Collyer has been doing really well. And I think physically, for a young player to do well, it really gives them a good chance of breaking into the first team. There was a lot of talk about, could this be the next Kobbie Mainoo in terms of a player breaking into the team? I think it could be, but perhaps not for the reasons that people suggest. One of the reasons why Kobbie made the transition from youth football to senior football look so easy was because physically he had a brilliant understanding of how to use his body, and Collyer has certainly been showing that. I just quickly wanted to interrupt the video there to give a shout out to today's video sponsor, jerseyfifa.com, the home of affordable football kits. If you use the link in the description down below, you will find yourself a website which has all of the newest releases, home shirts, away shirts, and actually even old classic shirts as well. And if you don't actually want to wear the shirt yourself, I've heard they make a pretty good background display as well. So if you want to get yourself a shirt, use the link in the description and use code JerseyFIFA for 10% off your order. Go check it out. If we now move to the in-possession side of the game, Collyer once again really stands out because of the way that he uses his body. This is clever. This is a very clever player. He knows how to use his physique. Here, once again, getting his body between the ball and opposition, but this time to keep the ball for his side, rather than trying to win the ball back with the tackle. We can see, again, he is positioning himself between the situation, but he is using his arms really effectively. He is making sure he is pinning that player back, giving that player literally no chance of getting towards the ball, and it makes him quite an effective player under pressure. I'm not sure he is a press-resistant player, someone who's going to drop in and turn, but what he does do well is he drops into these positions, gets his body in the way, and passes really well out from the back. Under pressure, his passing looks really impressive. On this occasion, showing the confidence to even try a kind of cheeky little back heel, which he pulls off perfectly, really, to find his fullback. Really, really impressive, and it's a calmness under pressure. Again, in a situation like this, he is calm under pressure. He takes the first touch, and this draws the opposition onto him. He then baits as though he is going to play the ball backwards, so the Rangers player gambles, moving forward towards where he thinks the pass is going to go. Collyer has something else in mind though, instead dropping the shoulder, turning the other way, and then actually giving himself loads of time on the ball. Again, this is really, really effective in possession play, and it makes Collyer potentially a useful player in the first phase. If we go over to the tactic board, the ability to drop into these deeper positions. We actually saw it in this particular game. He had a deeper average position than Casemiro, and that shows a trusting in his ability to drop into these deeper positions. He clearly feels comfortable. Now again, I wouldn't label him as press resistant in the sense of being a player who's going to drop the shoulder and regularly turn out, even though we just saw a clip of him doing it. I wouldn't expect this to be a big part of his career moving forward, but what he does do incredibly effectively is take a good safe first touch. He protects the ball for his team, and then he's going to move it on to someone else. And that is exactly what you need. Yes, a press-resistant player is handy, but Manchester United already have that in Kobbie Mainoo. Having someone like Collyer, potentially a long-term partner, who can be press-resistant in a different way, if you like, with his passing ability, passing his way out from the back. That's what United need, and Collyer does that seemingly throughout the pitch, even when he's a little bit higher. His first touch is going to be safe. He's not an overly expansive player. His first touch is going to be safe, it's going to be secure. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be away from the opposition. So let's say he receives the ball from the centre-back here, rather than looking to turn. As he receives pressure from his back, his first touch is going to be sideways, laterally across the pitch. To give himself a little bit of time, he is making sure that ball is secure before then trying to be adventurous. But that's not to say he can't progress the ball. For example, in a situation like this, where he does have a little bit more time to receive, his first touch is positive. He receives the ball in midfield, and he opens his body up, knowing where the space is. You can see he's got a bit of green grass to move into, and he's happy to do that, taking a positive touch, and then carrying the ball forward over the first few yards before releasing to his teammate. It's nothing overly impressive, right? There's nothing stand out about this, but it does show, a different side to his game. Rather than always playing a safe pass backwards, it shows that ability when there is a bit of space to kind of turn and drive. And he doesn't mind doing that at all, galloping forward. I'm not sure in pre-season so far he has shown the traits of a true 6, a true solo pivot in midfield. He looks a bit more, to me, like a player who wants to play in a sort of box-to-box role. So yes, dropping deep to get on the ball, but then also going forward the other way. We can see that in a situation like this. He wins the duel in the air here, but then he isn't happy just to play it safe. You know, he kind of gets his head up, he scans, assesses his options, decides, I don't really want to play either of these two passes, but then once again has the confidence and also importantly the athleticism to actually carry the ball forward himself, moving into space. This almost reminds me a little bit of someone like Declan Rice and the way that he used to play, particularly at West Ham, given that license at times to move a little bit further forward, show that athleticism to carry the ball. I like that a lot. And then the other thing is his progressive passing. Now again, like I've said already, so far he has largely been a safe player. He's not been overly expansive with his passing, but he has shown a glimpse or two the ability to play forward. And we saw it here. What he's going to do here is receive the ball kind of in the right half space on the right side of the pitch, and first time punch the ball through the lines of the opposition. He's going to take out several players here. We can see it as the ball goes through, just how far he has progressed the ball. With one pass, one touch, he has taken out 5 or 6 Rangers players, and actually the weight of pass was really good as well. It allowed Wan-Bissaka to run onto the ball. This is really good from Collyer. Now, so far the sample size is small. He hasn't done this particularly regularly, but hopefully he will over the course of the rest of pre-season. And that would be my plan if I was Erik ten Hag. I would look to use him more, keep using him in these pre-season games, because like I've said already, he has the foundation of a player who could break into the first team and be a useful squad player. And the main reason why I think he can make that transition is because of the physicality. The ability to use his body well, but also work hard, the determination, the willingness to track back towards his own goal, cover his teammates, be busy, cover over the pitch. That really gives him an opportunity, and the foundation, like I've said already, to be a very useful squad, solid player. And that's what he's done so far in pre-season. That is what he has shown us, and that is why he has impressed me. I was a little bit unsure on him a couple of months ago, but pre-season so far has looked good. Let's hope he can kind of kick on from that and move further forward and keep developing. Those are my thoughts on Collyer in pre-season so far, I should say. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Has he impressed you? What do you want to see more of? Is he a potential starter in this United midfield eventually? Probably not in my opinion, not just yet. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Apart from that, we are finished for today. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.